black love is dead. I think we've had our day. There's not any amount of pointing the finger of blame at black women or at black men, and both deserve some degree of blame. There's no question about that. But it's gotten to the point now where I just think we ought to just disconnect ourselves from whatever concerns that we think we may have if we fit into those categories of we're respectable, we're honorable, we're decent, we're people of character, and we're people of honor. I think we're done. If there's any such thing as black love, or if anybody wants any such thing as black love, you'd be better off playing the lottery. In fact, you'd probably be better off standing out in the middle of a thunderstorm and getting struck by lightning. Because the more that I hear and the more that I see, the more I realize that those corrupting elements within us, black men and black women, are so dominant that they totally, completely overshadow the rare, precious gems that are still available out there between black men and black women. And I think it's going to be next to impossible for us to find each other. Is this advocating interracial dating / marriage? I think so. At this point in the game, I think that's our only hope. Unless you want to keep playing the odds with the hope of, well, I want a black this, that, or the other, and I'm going to hold out hope that there's going to be a decent one or a respectable one or somebody who's really going to be serious about this, that, and the other. To you, I say, best of luck. Not saying that it's impossible, but it'd probably be better just to cut your losses now and find love and acceptance within whatever willing arms are available out there. Don't worry about this whole keep it black thing anymore, because I don't think it's worth it anymore, because I think we're done. And I've been saying that on numerous occasions, on numerous topics, and so it's really not much new coming from me. But there's just a new twist on this, which I started paying more and more attention to, that I became more aware of. That's just convincing me that it's game over for us. Everyone who knows anything about me knows that I lay blame across the board. I blame black men ultimately for not being men of character, but I blame black women for keeping men in that position of not being men of character when they have the power to change it. And so rather than black women recognizing their power to change black men's attitudes and to change their behavior, they'd rather say, well, I like to keep it this way, because at least this way I can manipulate things, I can keep things on a certain level, and I can maintain my position of preeminence or whatever. And black men are just being so weak and so stupid and just so beholden to being enslaved to the vagina, which is essentially what it is, that they let themselves get manipulated this way. That they'll allow themselves to be prevented from becoming men of character or men of honor or men of excellence. And so it's this vicious cycle that just will not be broken. And so the rare few precious gems that are there, you have to mine really deep in order to find them. And a lot of people figure that, well, hey, I don't want to go through all that wasted time and effort. It's just as easy to go down to a jewelry store to get a real precious diamond than to go wading in an Olympic-sized swimming pool of cheap rhinestones in order to find the 1 or 2 dozen precious cut diamonds that are somewhere in the mix. I'm going to wind up getting blistered and cut up and all this other mess trying to find that rare gem. Shoot, why don't I just go ahead, save myself the effort, go to where I know the precious gems are, and just do it easy that way. And this is our situation. And again, it's hard to blame the black men for this when you recognize that the only reason they're doing it is out of weakness. Because unless they get the incentive, they're not going to change. And I hate to see that about black men, but that's what we've allowed ourselves to fall into. We don't want to become men of character unless we get an incentive to become men of character, and usually the incentive is vagina. But what does the owner of the vagina do? You don't have to be men of character. In fact, the rougher you are, the tougher you are, the harder that you are, or the more swagged out that you are, oh sure, we'll open it up to you in a split second, and then bitch and moan about how you ain't worth nothing or how y'all ain't trying to do anything. So there's just that grip of hypocrisy that just keeps men locked into this mindset. And so as a result of that, the good, decent, honorable sisters suffer. And I'm getting so sick and tired of hearing and witnessing how the decent, honorable sisters out there have to deal with the ignoramuses and all the coonery and all this total disrespect for who they are and what they are, because the bad sisters out there, all these bad seeds who sprouted up like weeds, choking out the healthy crops, because of these bad seeds among black women, the good sisters out there, the decent ones, the honorable ones, the ones that are worthy of respect, they can't command that kind of respect that's due them. Because even in the minds of the black man who might even look like they've got their game together, are trapped into this mindset, having been so conditioned to think all black women are hoes, all black women are sluts, all black women are skanks. Doesn't matter what she looks like, doesn't matter how she dresses, doesn't matter if she's honorable, if she's got her head together, doesn't matter if she's not shaking her wares out there, doesn't matter that she's not flaunting her sexuality out there, doesn't matter. All black women are corrupted, and if they're not, they can be corrupted. And so you've got these black men who, as a result of all these bad seed black women screwing with their brains, they're approaching these decent, honorable, respectable black women and treating them with all manners of disrespect. And I'm not just hearing this from online gripes or anything. I'm witnessing this personally from people who are within my own circle. And this is sickening. This is appalling. Black men have fallen so far that now we don't even give the black women who are clearly not on this whole trip of throwing their stuff out there and showing that they're not worthy of any sort of respect or decency about themselves. We're just going to treat them like just all these other black hoes that we treat them all the same, because they typically respond to this kind of stuff anyway. So, well, hey, especially if she looks nice and she looks like she's got some character about herself, then hey, I'm going to get that. So instead of hey, I think that you're attractive, I'd like to know a little bit more about you, and can we have a conversation, sort of a thing. No, it's like, yo ma, can I lay some pipe in you? I mean, how is it that we have fallen that far that we can't even distinguish anymore between a black woman who's deserving of respect and all honor and just your average run-of-the-mill street skank out there? Is this what we've become now, boys? Is this the definition of black manhood now, that we can no longer set a spectrum of a standard that says that, hey, further down on this end of the spectrum, you got your skanks, your hoes, and your sluts. A little further in the middle, you got your wishy-washy types where, you know, you can go either or. Then further down the opposite end of the spectrum, it's like, okay, these are the ones that we say that they're the type that we want to take home to mom, that we don't want to corrupt them, that, hey, this is the prize. Okay, so we can go whoremongering and sowing our wild oats all the same, but when it comes time to saying, hey, there's somebody who's special, there's somebody who can be a compliment to me, who I can be proud to be seen around, not just because she's got the slamming body, but because she's a good person and she's somebody who's respectable, who's honorable, and who's going to give me compliments and credit in the eyes of other people. But we don't even do that anymore. What has happened to us black men? Can't blame the black woman for this. Yes, you can, in the sense of, I understand that that's the trick that she keeps using to keep you in this mindset, but you are a man! You're supposed to know the game. And yeah, here we go, always talking about game. Yeah, have game, you gotta play the game, you gotta play the game. So okay, so if you know the game, then why aren't you playing it? You're treating everybody as if they're all on the same team now. So one black woman is just as skanky or is just as corrupted or corruptible as the other black woman. So now that there is no distinction between them. Is this how weak you are now, that you've let the corrupting elements of black women so putrefy and pollute your brains now, that they've got you stuck in a mindset now that all you ever see in a black woman anymore is skank, 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 skank. Okay, she's got her booty hanging out of her booty shorts. Skank. Okay, she's got her titties poking out of her little tight blouse. Skank. She's dressed in a business suit. Skank. Oh, she's dressed in a hijab. Skank. Is this how we think of black women now? That no matter how they carry themselves, they're all skanks? And that they're all deserving of any amount of disrespect that you can give them? That they all respond to, yo, ma, want some dick? Is this what you think black women have become now, all black women? If it is, then you good, honorable, decent sisters out there, listen to your brother, go date out. Go marry out. Your black men are through. And I'm not even talking about the swagged out, punked out, thugged out, or whatever it is, because I'm even hearing this from those who should know better, or at least who put on this visual display that they are better. They're dressed nice, they carry themselves well, they might be older, and so, of course, with age comes wisdom, supposedly. And yet, it's the same thing. Even from a clean-cut, handsome, carries himself well black man, and yet finds an attractive, decent, carries herself well black woman, and the first thing out of his mouth is "yo ma," or he's trying to lay on some filthy, disrespectful rap, and as soon as she says, "Well, hey, I'm in a relationship," or "I've got a boyfriend," "Well, you need a man friend." You know, this is what it's become. Black men are done, sisters, and I don't care if you're the ones that are just pointing the finger, just to be pointing the finger, just to be complaining, and you're not going to do anything to change things. But I'm especially concerned about those of you who want better, who deserve better. You need to realize, at this stage in the game, I'm sorry, but I have to say it's time for you to cash your chips in. Black men, as a general rule, are done. If you find a rare one out there that's worth clinging hold to, God bless you, but listen to your brother and take my advice, don't hold your breath. Find happiness elsewhere if you have to, because I don't think black men are going to do it for you anymore. We're out there, trust me, we are out there, but we're so rare and few and in between. We're like that proverbial unicorn tier. Good luck trying to find us, because chances are you'll have better chance of getting struck by lightning or hitting the lottery. That's my rant, and I'm sorry that it has to be on a negative spiel like this, but sisters, your brother loves you. He loves you enough to tell you that it's time to leave black men alone. Go elsewhere, find your happiness. End of line.